A long time ago, I was on a podcast called Hate Speech Radio, foreshadowing for my career to come. And we even won a couple of those Marconi Awards. We were one of the hot podcasts, one of the hot 100 podcasts a couple times. And my co-hosts had, I wouldn't call it a big relationship, but they had some ins with the O&A guys. And so I was pretty much the third mic of this podcast, and there was a lot of podcasts. We were on Cringe Humor Radio, which was a network that, like, the guys that started that website years later, there are like Patrick and all the guys that run The Stand now used to run Cringe Humor. And so we always were trying to get on O&A. I was doing stand-up. I was doing a podcast that wasn't making any money, because this was back when even if people were watching your show, nobody didn't make money. And so we were always trying to come up with ways to go on O&A. And so there was a time when BoBo got catfished by some listeners into thinking that they wanted to hire him for a stand-up gig. And that was the big like, oh yeah, you know, they said the University of Buffalo at some frat house, and BoBo had a comedy gig that they were going to book him for, right? And they were fucking with BoBo about it on O&A, like, wow, you got a stand-up gig, huh? All the way in Buffalo? How you going to get there? And blah, 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 and all this shit, right? So my old co-hosts, Dave and Heather, hatched a plan to basically like go, all right, because at the time I was doing stand-up comedy and I was just working at a pizzeria, right? So my fucking schedule was pretty flexible. And I was like, they were like, yo, so what if you drive BoBo to Buffalo to this gig, right? Get some content out of it. We could get on O&A, you know, they'll probably let us on the show to talk about the trip and stuff, so whatever. Like, all right, you know, I'll do it. So I agree to take BoBo to Buffalo. The day of the gig starts getting close, right? And they put me in touch with BoBo, so I'm on the phone with him, and we're trying to figure shit out, right? So it becomes very apparent that there is no gig in Buffalo. Now, if you're not familiar with New York, New York City to Buffalo is a 6.5 hour drive. 6.5 hour drive up to Buffalo. And I had a car that probably wouldn't even have made that trip, right? So we get to the, you know, close to the day of, and I'm like, BoBo, we got to figure out if there's a gig or not, because I'm not going all the way to Buffalo for no money and no gig. Like, we got to figure this thing out, right? So I'm like, BoBo, call your contact over there, right? Calls the guy, and the guy's being all cute and dancing around the issue, right? So I'm like, BoBo, give me the fucking phone. So I get on the phone, and I'm like, what's going on with this gig? Is this a real gig or not? I'm not a so I'm not going to fall for this shit. Tell me what the fucking deal is. And then they started hanging up and being all dodgy. So I had to be the one to break the news to BoBo. I'm like, there is no gig, BoBo. There is no gig. So what's going to result is you and I driving 6.5 hours to Buffalo, if my car makes it, but possibly just breaking down, being stuck in the winter in upstate New York. So I come up with a different plan. And I'm like, fuck. So I call my co-hosts, and I'm like, there is no gig. Like, if we drive all the way to Buffalo for no gig, that's not going to get us any content. It's a non-story. It just makes us look like assholes, right? So we start brainstorming, and we're like, well, what can we do to salvage this? You know, because I really wanted to get on the Opie and Anthony show. Like, they were my idols for years. I wanted to get on there. So I'm like, what if we do this? What if I just bring a camera, bring a fucking couple of SD cards, I'll take the train out to Queens, I'll pick up BoBo, we'll take a subway into the city, right? Or we'll stay in Queens, we'll bounce all around the city for the night, and I'll take him to multiple open mics. And then we can just let him do some stand-up, and then that way we'll get footage of him doing his stand-up and et cetera, right? By the way, BoBo also opened for me at the Killjoy recording. Like, I paid BoBo to open up for me at the, like, he was my opener. And he even introduced me wrong. It was a disaster. It was actually amazing. So BoBo, I pick him up, I go to his house that day, whatever. And I'm like, all right, BoBo, look, there's no gig, but if you want to do stand-up, I'll take you and you can go do a couple. I was like, I'll buy you pizza, you know what I mean? I'll buy you dinner, we'll drive around, we'll have a few beers, and I'll let you get on stage. So I call in every favor I can. I even called Jordan Rock, who's Chris Rock's little brother, because I used to have a relationship with Jordan. I actually was at one of J-Rock's first paid gigs because we booked him. It was back when, because, you know, Chris Rock's family is living in South Carolina still. They're still from South Carolina. And we booked a gig in, like, Myrtle Beach way back in the day, and we booked Jordan Rock when he was, like, 15. And he was hilarious, too. I mean, he wasn't, like, super, like, worldly yet. You know what I mean? A young person only has so much perspective to draw from, but he was a naturally funny kid. And so I called Jordan Rock, and I'm like, yo, are there any open mics tonight? Because, like, in New York City, like, an open mic, it's not easy to get on an open mic in New York City. There's a lot of open mics, but there's 10 million comedians, all, you know, and wannabe comedians, all vying for that stage time. So I had to beg, borrow, and steal, call in favors, and get me and BoBo booked at a couple of open mics. And I'm like, we'll just do a couple of open mics, whatever, we'll do that. I took him to Village Underground. I think I took him to Stand Up New York, Broadway Comedy Club, and then one of these, like, dive bars. And we got enough footage of him doing comedy, you know? Took him to get pizza. All he did was talk about O&A and the fucking Mets the whole night. And then I dropped him home. And I took the footage, and I went back, and we, you know, ripped the footage onto a laptop, you know, and got it all sent in and everything, right? So the plan was that I was going to go to Sirius XM in the morning in the freezing cold, which was a miserable trek, but I made it. Took the train at like 4 a.m. to get to the city in time. Got in the Sirius XM building. They sign us in, whatever. I sit in the fucking hallway. There's like a hallway. The Opie Anthony didn't even have a green room because this was Sirius XM at this point. So I'm just sitting in the hallway with BoBo. And right away, it was just weird, right? Because, like, Club Soda Kenny right away was like, who are you? And I'm like, I'm Mersh. I'm the guy that was with BoBo. I was the guy that did all the filming. I'm the guy that took him out. I'm the guy that got all the footage. They told me that I should be here today. I don't know, you know, and he's like, all right, well, just wait here. And this is where I pretty much was like, all right, these guys are fucking dead to me. We sit in the green room. I got there at like 5:30 in the morning to be there on time. We sat there till like 8 in the morning. Just dying. I'm like falling asleep. I can't leave. Every time I'd be like, hey, can I go have a cigarette? They'd be like, if you leave, you can't come back in. It's like they were just being shitty. And I'm like, all right. So I sat there for like hours, not smoking, not doing anything, right? And so like 8 o'clock comes around and they're like, yeah, we still have BoBo. BoBo had his like stand-up stuff. Did we want to get to that? And you know, because you're listening in the hallway. And they're like, yeah, let's get with BoBo, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, all right, BoBo, you go in there, blah, blah, blah. So I get up, stand up with BoBo and everything. And, you know, Kenny, no, not you, just BoBo. And I'm like, but it's my footage. What do you mean? It's my footage. Why am I not getting in there? And he's like, just wait here, blah, blah, blah. Right. So, I forgot to tell you, before that, I got screamed at by Kenny. We were sitting in the hallway with the, you know, people that were going to be guests that day. An intern comes around. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, what do you mean, what do I want? He's like, what do you want for breakfast? And I'm like, oh, how nice. He's like, yeah, we're doing a breakfast order. What do you want? And I'm like, oh, sweet, man. Yeah, you know what? Could I just get like a sausage, egg, and cheese on a bagel? And like a coffee? That'd be awesome, man. Thank you so much. And he's like, all right, cool. So food comes. We're sitting there, whatever. It's me and BoBo and some other guy. We're sitting in the hallway. And the breakfast order comes. Intern comes over. Nice kid. I don't remember which intern it was, but nice kid comes over and he gives me my bagel, gives me my coffee, whatever. And we're just sitting there having a little breakfast real quick. Club Soda Kenny comes over. What the hell is this? I'm like, what is what? He's like, what is that? And I'm like, it's a sausage, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel and a coffee. And he's like, who told you you could have breakfast? And I was like, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. The kid came over and said, like, what did we want for breakfast? I was like panicking. Because he's a big dude, too. And I'm like, I didn't want to offend. Like, I was really trying to be a good, gracious dude, you know? And he's like, you don't get breakfast. Nobody said you could have breakfast. And I'm like, all right, man. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know, man. Kid asked me. I don't want to get him in trouble. Kid asked me for what I wanted. And I was like, fuck it. It's sausage and cheese. My bad, dude. Whatever. So that was the first moment I was like, this is humiliating. Then they were like, you know, whatever. And then BoBo was like, I got to go in, blah, blah, blah. Like, all right, man, whatever. And I was like, yo, man, just, you know, make sure to tell. And even to BoBo's credit, BoBo went in there and he's like, yeah, I'm here with Mersh. Mersh was the guy I was with. He's outside. And they were like, yeah, whatever, dude. I sat there. I gave them my footage. They took my footage. They took BoBo in the studio. They did their whole segment. I sat in that hallway. They came out. They gave me my fucking little, you know, what do you call it, the SD cards, gave me my footage back, sent me on my way. And I promised myself that day forward. That was actually not only changed how I feel about Opie and Anthony, but it changed, it absolutely forever permanently altered how I deal with every situation like this in life. I don't give a fuck when I meet somebody that's famous. I don't give a fuck if somebody was a big influence. I'm like, from that day forth, I'm like, I'm never gonna give the, you know what I mean, be this excited. Fuck that shit. So from that day forward, and that was when Sam Roberts low-key called me an open micer on camera, on mic, and I'm like, this little cocksucker. So that was the big story. It was one day I hung out with BoBo. We took the subway the whole day. I took him to some gigs, and then O&A fucked me over, and I never forgot that. So when you want to know why I wrote the quintessential article breaking down the history of Anthony Cumia's creepy wife with women abusing behavior, now you know. When you know why I go after Jim Norton as much as I do, now you know. And now you know why. And be honest, I don't go after Opie because Opie's just living in his own hell. If I were to go after Opie, it would be like he'd actually get more viewers. So that was it, man. From that day forth, I promise I would never fucking forget what those guys did. But yeah, I'll admit, I was driving BoBo around. I was trying to get on the show. I was trying to do the shit, and it just, they fucked me. Made me look like a fucking asshole. So, props to BoBo for at least correcting that fucking lying Stevie Lou. And now, you know what? Stevie Lou will never be mentioned on this program again. Fuck Kevin Brennan. It's fuck Kevin Brennan for life. But Kevin Brennan actually has an audience and is notable. Stevie Lou's a fucking nobody. You know what you are, Stevie Lou? You're a fan. You're a fan. That's all you are. You are a Dabblerverse fan that goes on shows sometimes. And most of the time is barely coherent.
And maybe her take is right, and maybe my take is wrong. I don't know, but this is just the way I live my life. I get to come on here to a much bigger audience than the Reddit people have, a much bigger audience than any of my haters or anyone else has. And I get to talk all kinds of unending shit. I get to tell the story the way I want to tell it. I have carte blanche.
You mean lie? You mean lie? I like how he's actively bragging about how he's lying. Jewel9 bought a coffee, says, now you want to know who lives on yachts? Losers, that's who. Yeah, only losers live on expensive yachts looking at the fucking moon. Jewel for another coffee says, I mean, you are spiraling, but it's misleading because you're always spiraling. So really, they're just pointing out that you're acting normal. Yeah, I've been circling listen, I'm a turd you can't get down the drain. I've been circling that fucking drain for 40 years, and brother, you're gonna have to call a plumber to get me down that drain. You're gonna have to use your fist and physically shove this piece of shit down the drain if you're gonna do. You're gonna have to do it yourself. If I get back tomorrow night in time for to do a show, which I might, tomorrow night I might do a show. I need money right now. Things are a little bit thin for me right now, so I need any extra money I can do. So I might do a show tomorrow night. We might just do that. If I'm at Bohemian Grove, I assume I'll be there. I gotta get there at like 4 o'clock with the first act or whatever we're doing. We're doing our live show there, and then we're gonna, like, I know Royce has already been like, yeah, I'm in and out. I'm going. I'll say do my thing. I'll do the gig, and then I'm out of there. I'm probably gonna hang out for a little bit. Before I leave, but I would like to get back home in time to do a show. Jim Edwards said, LOL, Mersh is going to get too drunk to drive home. Nah. You know why? Because honestly, dude, and I mean this like with some level of respect, everybody there's a fucking nerd, dude. You know what I mean? And I like some of them. Some of them I don't like. But everyone there's a fucking nerd, dude. Like, nobody's a big drinker. Nobody's a big drug guy. Like, what am I going to do there? I'm going to fucking... Top Lobster's got a wife and kids. I guarantee you the minute the fucking cameras are rolled up and everything's packed up and everything's good to go, Top Lobster's going home to his wife and kid. Corbo, same thing. He's going back to his wife and kid. Who am I going to drink and hang out with? Fucking Shane Cashman? Oh, I'm sorry, Sean Cashman? No, Shane. Yeah, Shane Cashman. What am I going to do? Hang out? Like, there'll be a couple fans there. I'll hang out with them for a little bit. I'm not going to get hammered. Besides, I live very close. Like, I live pretty goddamn close to where this gig is. It's really not the worst fucking commute back to where I live. So, I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I'm getting on 98 north, boom, 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 301, boom, 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 and some. Yeah, this is going to be an easy breezy fucking drive. So, yeah, I'm not going to be getting hammered. I'd rather come home and do a show. It's the fucking moon. But, like, I'm not going to be hanging out drinking, you know? Mr. Footpig said, I'd smoke you out if you were close. Well, yeah, I mean, I could smoke weed. That's fine. I can smoke weed and drive. It's very hard to get somebody on driving under the influence on weed if I don't physically have weed on me. I'm not going to have any weed on me. I'm not going to have any drugs on me. I'm not going to have any booze on me. I'm not going to get hammered when I'm there. So it's just, you know, is what it is. I'll have a couple beers and do like 1 or 2 shots. I'll be there for a few hours to get back. But no, I'm not getting super fucked up there because there's nobody. Like, I would put it this way. If this was a Dick Masterson event, I'm getting a hotel. If this was a Ralph event, I would be getting a hotel. If it was a Skanks or a Gas Digital related event, I would be getting a hotel. But I'm not going to be getting fucked up at this fucking moon. All right, let's go back to stupid Aaron.
It's a complete dictatorship. I get to do it every day. So,
that's what I was getting at before fucking asshole got me sidetracked. Listen to Aaron. I want you to listen to this. Ready?
And maybe my take is wrong. I don't know, but this is just the way I live my life. I get to come on here to a much bigger audience than the Reddit people have,
It's a dwindling audience.
Bigger audience than any of my haters or anyone else has. And I get to talk all kinds of unending shit. I get to tell the story the way I want to tell it. I have carte blanche. It's a complete dictatorship. I get to do it every day.
So lie is what you're saying. You get to lie to your bigger audience. That Aaron is admitting what Carl from Who Are These Podcasts and me and many other people have been observing about him for months. I can lie about the circumstances of every story to my bigger audience because it's a dictatorship. You either believe my side of it or you don't. So, by the way, I swear to God, if one more you motherfuckers mentions Trump on Joe Rogan tonight, I will fucking myself. I will fucking shove this in your fucking mouth, illiterate. Are we clear? I know Trump was on Rogan. I don't care. We are making fun of Aaron and doing UFC picks. Shut the fuck up about Trump and Rogan. I don't care about either of them. Shut up. Fucking A, dude. The fucking mune. Zen Rhino pointing out ROTC 43.5 thousand subs. Steel Toe 13K. Keep getting cute, Aaron. I'm back in the game now.
So let them have their places where they can go and seethe. It's healthy. It's good.
Everyone's seething. Aaron refuses to admit people are laughing at him. Aaron, I have at times pointed out many times when it was valid to make fun of me. I thought that, for instance, this was hilarious. Where is it? Not that one. Where's my fucking hilarious. Dab strokes? Hilarious. I'm a fat guy. Cool. This guy, it's cool. It's whatever.
That was fucked up.
All the shit, right? The only things I ever took exception with were when people fuck with my family or fuck with my friends or try to fuck with my money or report my channel or interfere with my ability to make a living or fuck with anybody whose only sin is to be some way incidentally connected to me on some level. That shit's fucked up. But there have been plenty of valid reasons why people should make it. The drunk stream with Ralph, where I was a fucking mess. That was hilarious. I took my licks. I've taken my beatings. It's fine. This man is incapable of laughing at himself. Incapable of it. He thinks everyone's seething. Aaron is... I don't know if he believes this or not, although I'm starting to think he really does. I don't know. I still can't figure out if Aaron genuinely believes the shit he says or if he just thinks he's fooling people. But he really lives in a fucking world, in this weird bubble where it's like none of my bad things are happening right now. Aaron, if I had a fucking Aaron is pretending that if a woman accused me of choking and headbutting them, and they got a restraining order against me, and then I had to plead guilty in court to violating a restraining order against a woman. Aaron's pretending like he wouldn't jump all over that. His buddies at the Keno Casino, his buddies Pot Awful, wouldn't jump all over that. And by the way, if I did violate a restraining order against a woman this year, and I fucking had to plead guilty to it, I would be fair fucking game, dude. It wouldn't just be the people that hate me coming after me. People like JJ Stoner would be laughing at me. Royce would be making jokes. Frozen, fucking Virgie, everyone would be making jokes. Pessy, everyone would be dumping on me for being like, man, maybe don't harass women. And it would be fair. You'd be like, fuck, man, I pled guilty to... He pled guilty to a charge, and it was like, this is a nothing burger. You don't... He refuses to acknowledge any of the shit he's going through. These people are seething. No, Aaron, you're fucking circling the drain. You're circling the fucking drain, and we're here laughing at you for it. There's no seething. Nobody's mad. Understand this, Aaron. If you woke up tomorrow and found out that you just won the Minnesota Powerball and you were the richest man alive, it would have no bearing on my life. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, oh, cool, good for him. Doesn't affect my life in any way. Aaron, if you stepped out to get your mail tomorrow and you were fucking mowed down by a school bus going 40 miles an hour and you died on the scene, it also would have zero bearing on my life. Nobody is seething. We're not angry at you. Nobody's angry at you. Like, Aaron wants his audience to believe they're so mad at me. The fucking haters. Nobody's angry. I'm not mad. I can't speak for Melton. I doubt he's mad. Chad Zumach is mad, but not at you. It just seems like Chad Zumach's baseline is he's just always yelling and never really telling a joke. Brennan is another one. He is mad, but he's not a hater and he's not mad at you. His baseline, I mean, he literally looks like he spent 6 hours at the beach every day. He's so red. Kevin Brennan looks like he eats a fistful of niacin before every episode of his show. He's just red to purple and going, wow, that's a fact, Jack. All mad, like he's just mad. Nobody is seething over you, Aaron. Nobody's angry over you. We're laughing at you, stupid.
Let these people go. And, I mean, you see them in our YouTube chat. I've broken these people. They're fucking deranged.
He broke us. Again, guys, everyone raise your hands if you have pending felony revenge porn charges. Anyone? Anyone? Anyone else have pending felony revenge porn charges in the court? Anybody got a suspended 90-day jail sentence for violating restraining order against his ex-wife? Anyone? You? Me? No? Me? No? 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 Okay, that's weird. It's weird. It's weird how we're all falling apart. But, like, Jesus Christ, man. Give it a rest. Nobody's seething. Nobody's circling the drain, except for you. And by the way, this is literally... If I had to find an image that would summarize Aaron's entire last year on the internet, Aaron, we're not the ones seething. I don't have any criminal charges. I'll be pissed tomorrow if I'll be pissed tonight if the fucking USC Trojans don't win. But I'm not going to end my life over it. And I'll be pissed tomorrow if fucking Chimaev doesn't win. Other than that, man, I'm not really sweating it, bro. Let me tell you something, Aaron, and I can promise you this. I have been angrier at and said a lot worse things about wide receivers in the NFL when I have money on a team than I have ever said about you. I have felt deeper emotion. I'll put it this way, Aaron. If I'm seething over anything, if I'm angry about anything, if I had to pick a person in the past 2 weeks that I have more ill will towards than anyone else on the planet, Marie Buskova. Marie Buskova has elicited stronger negative emotional reactions from me in the past 3 weeks and more times and much more powerful than any emotional reaction I could ever get from you, sir. So if it seems like I'm seething, blame Marie Buskova, but don't blame you. You're not the guy. You're not getting under our skin. We're not mad at you. No, nobody's mad at you. We're fucking laughing at you collectively. Also, Aaron, nobody wants to destroy you. We're laughing at you, stupid.
Their life, at least for 4 hours a day, far more than that, at least half their day focuses around me. That's an honor. I
don't know, Aaron. We did like 2 hours before we even got to you tonight. I did more time on the fucking Mune than I did about you tonight. Like, what are you talking about? We just started talking. That's the other thing. He wants you to think that these shows, man, they're all 100% about me, dude. They're all 100% about me, and they're not. They're not, dude. We do a little segment on you towards the end because it's funny. And we sing about the goalie goal. Nobody's seething and nobody's basing a whole show around. Well, Melton kind of does, but Melton's also a fucking I'm
good at my job. That's what that means. But let them go and let them talk their shit. Let them say their things. Like they don't exist. They're not real. It's matter and antimatter. It's just, it cancels everything out. They're doing it for them. It's therapeutic for them. They need it. They're not doing it because they think, oh, we'll get to Grinch Girl, or oh, we'll get to Matt, or oh, we'll get to Aaron. They're doing it because they need to in their soul, because it's twisting them in knots and it's up inside, and they need to get that poison out of them.
This went to 3 Al-Anon meetings, and all of a sudden he's a board certified psychologist. Aaron, you're not that deep. You're not this astute. You're not this good at reading people. I would eat you alive at a poker table. Stop this. Stop pretending like you're above it all and you're this smart, cool guy. You went fucking all barrels, trained on Nick Rekieta. You went all in on taking down Nick Rekieta, and then your own fucking issues came to light. And now you're in a bad spot. And we're all supposed to pretend like your problems ain't real, but everyone else's problems are real. It's not working. Aaron, I've been telling you this for months. You won't listen to me. Everything you are trying to do to the internet has already been tried and failed. Kiwi Farms is not, they can see through your bullshit. Your own, I know that you have a core group, and look, you're never going to lose those people. We live in a personality age. I've always said that. You'll always have at least a half a dozen to a dozen pay pigs circling the wagons, no matter how low bottom scumbag internet e-grifter you are, myself included. I could get disgraced tomorrow. Would it affect my bottom line? Yes. Would it affect my income? Yes. But would people still show up and give me money and go, I don't even give a fuck, Mersh, I got your back for life? Dude, come on, man.
That's what Reddit is for. That's what their Discords are for. That's what all that shit is for. They hate that this show exists, which I would argue is a giant waste of your time. But I play State of Decay. Who am I to judge on waste of time?
Well, you are literally, your show is literally going through entropy right now, so that's perfect.
So somebody sends me this thing and goes, Grinch Girl's losing it. Like, Grinch Girl's going on Reddit.
Let's skip ahead with this dumb shit. Let's get to the me part.
Everything that's bad is fading away.
Oh, here we go.
I'm sorry, guys. The Grinch thing, with the Reddit. I'm just watching it, and I don't know. The last like 2-3 weeks of doing this show is some of the most fun doing this show I've ever had. Like all of our A-logs and haters are destroying themselves and falling apart and panicking in bunkers. Are
they? Are they? The only difference between you and Nick Rekieta is Nick Rekieta knows when to shut the fuck up until the court case is over. You think Nick Rekieta's hiding in a bunker from you like he's so scared of you. He's waiting until the court case is over and he meets terms with the fucking state and everyone moves on from their own fucking shit. I promise you, Aaron, when Nick comes out of that bunker, when that court case is over, everyone, a lot of people are going to have his fucking back, and he is going to come out. And I cannot wait for the shit he comes out with about you. He has kept his mouth shut because he wants this to be done. You, on the other hand, still have revenge porn shit pending, and you're still running your mouth about the husband of the woman you spread revenge porn of. You think Nick is just scared of you. No, he's smart. He's making sure he gets his court case fucking sorted out first. And then once that's done, he's coming at you double barrel.
Got, we're back to profitability. Goals are getting knocked out. We're having lots of fun. Matt's life has taken an amazing turn. I mean, yeah, it's going to, put him on the show a little bit less than he is now, but like his life's going well. My life's going well.
Is it? You have pending you have a 90-day suspended sentence hanging over your head and pending felony revenge porn charges. How is that going good? Sorry, I don't want to raise my voice. I don't want everyone to think I'm seething.
Everything that's bad is fading away. Everything that's good is ramping up.
Are the pending is the felony revenge porn charges fading away? What were they written in fucking invisible ink? Like, did Marvin Acme write your fucking arrest warrant?
We're pissing off all the right people, and they're losing their mind. Reading that thing on Reddit yesterday, it was I was being empathetic while at the same time being like, what are you doing? Don't do that. And then I go into the replies and I'm like, I hope she's not responding to the replies at least. And she's responding to all the replies. I'm like, oh my God, you leave these people alone. They're melting down. The guy they decided to hitch their wagons to try and destroy me turned out to be way worse of a person than I ever could dream of being. And they're having to deal and cope with that. Of course they're going to say terrible.
Sarah's Jeans goes, his life is going so well that he literally begs for money every day and tells people he might not be able to continue his show due to a lack of funds. It's amazing to me.
Well, nasty.
By the way, I've had 2 weeks of shit donos. Last night was good. Tonight looks okay. But, look, I've had 2 weeks of just miss. Nobody knows it. Nobody knows or cares because I don't fucking lament it. I just do my show.
Awful things about.
By the way, overtime on this show just means does Mersh get drunk enough and is he having enough fun? It's already almost 1 a.m. I'm not even gotten to UFC picks yet. We're having fun tonight. Not making a whole lot of money, but we're having fun. So maybe maybe that's an issue also.
About people. Their whole A-logging internet.
Have I once ever suggested or hinted that this show will cease to exist because you guys didn't give me enough money? Y'all haven't been giving me enough money for the past 2 weeks. At any point have I suicide baited or implied that I was going to have to shut the operation down? No, I'm like, well, it's not been a fucking great week, but I'll see you guys next Monday night. Yeah, who cares? My whole life's over anyway. I'm gonna myself soon anyway. It's probably happening. It's gonna. I want to. I'm increasingly getting closer to making my life as insanely close to fucked up, to where it's you can't get out of this. kind of thing. I've been doing that lately. Like, that's been kind of my whole deal. And I think it's been pretty sick. You know what I mean? Like, pretty sick way to go. Don Jolly said ladies tennis. That's hilarious. I will punish the audience with ladies tennis if they don't give me enough money. You're lucky we don't have enough time tonight, and you're lucky that I don't have any money on ladies tennis tonight.
Internet world fell apart. Just leave them alone. Let them cope. You handed
this word cope and seethe and all these words, they've lost all meaning.
You handed them a target for their venting, basically. All right, I want to go to Alan Powell. Is this the real
Here we
he
go.
Says
he's citing Alan Powell. That's always a good start.
Mersh lost his appeal to get his YouTube back. Yeah, I saw that underscore Mersh channel. I like that one now. I saw that he lost his appeal to get his YouTube back. I saw that he's still. I mean, Mersh is a bit unhinged with the steel toe hatred.
Has it been unhinged? I've been unhinged before. There have been things that made me unhinged. Has Aaron, have I ever, like, and be honest, chat. Has any of the steel toe coverage at any point come off like I'm this, like, I could say this, Aaron, you seem unhinged when it comes to Nick Rekieta, because he stole your bitch. He deep dicked her so good that she couldn't fucking walk away from him. You have been. Like, if somebody were to describe my coverage of Aaron versus Aaron's coverage of Nick Rekieta, I would venture a guess that 100 out of 100 people would say, this Aaron guy seems a bit unhinged. A little fixated. Illiterate it said, you pointed a gun at me earlier. I did, and I'll fucking do it again. I didn't say I'm not unhinged. What I said was, if you think I'm unhinged because of Aaron Imholt, that's my secret, Captain. I'm always unhinged. Has nothing to do with Aaron. I'm a 41-year-old unmarried alcoholic who got arrested as a kid. I've got my own fucking problems, to quote Paulie from Goodfellas. I've got my own reasons to be an angry, gambling addict, fucking alcoholic, unstable lunatic. Yes. Yeah, I got my own reasons to hold on to anger in life. But the fact that this narrow-shouldered 0-2 who punches kids in the face as a side gig thinks that I'm unhinged over him in any way, that's not the case, buddy. We're laughing at you. We're fucking laughing at you. You suicide baiting and implying, well, I gotta cut Johnny and I just don't want to be this fucking beggar guy and I can't fucking do this shit anymore unless we hit 300 and we got fucking 50 minutes left to hit the goddamn goal. Or I'll fucking myself. That's unhinged, Aaron. I just come on and get drunk and do a show. I just fucking go. Team Polizzi, is it legal in Florida to point a gun on camera? Oh no, call the police. Call the police, I guess. But no, I'm pretty sure, sir, it is legal to point a gun at a camera. He said, is it legal to point a gun on camera? Now, would it be legal for me to pull a gun on somebody in the streets while I'm being filmed on camera? Very illegal. Pointing my gun at a camera is not illegal. No. Team Polizzi, in Florida, displaying a firearm in a threatening or careless manner is a first-degree misdemeanor. Yes. At a fucking person. There's no people in my house. You stupid It's hilarious. Yeah, there's Triple N. There's one or two rap videos with it, guns pointed at cameras in Florida. Yeah, literally, this is every Jacksonville rapper. Yo, I'ma wet you. I guess arrest me. I guess put me in the fucking, bury me under the jail, asshole. Fucking.
He's the saddest thing about Mersh, other than, like, I've just noticed over the years, the drugs and the drinking seem to have really ramped up.
Correction, I don't do drugs. Well, I do drug. Marijuana is a drug. I will admit that. I'm not going to I'm not one of those. It's like, dude, marijuana, dude. It's just a plant, man. Marijuana's not addictive, dude. I'll admit that. So I guess from a legal standpoint, what Aaron's saying is not inaccurate. I do a drug, which is marijuana. But to be honest with you, I haven't taken an Adderall in like 8 and 9 months. I have not done cocaine in... Jesus Christ. When was the last time I did cocaine? I don't want to say Road Rage Tampa because I'm almost positive I did cocaine one time since then. But it was also it's a lot closer to the Road Rage weekend than it is to today. So I haven't done cocaine. I'm trying to think of the drugs I've done. When was the last time we went to Vegas? The time before that. There was a time we went to Vegas and there was a chick there that was like, that knew us. And she brought some drugs to Vegas for us. And I did do Molly and I did do LSD that one weekend. I'm really trying to think, like drugs, like drugs. When was the last time I took drugs? Yeah, I'm not really doing drugs, buddy. I mean, I am an alcoholic. I've openly admitted that I have a drinking problem. But, and the chain smoking, which you're going to bring up in a second, which is fine. That's why you can fault that. But no, I actually, I'm on less drugs than I've ever been in my life. So, no, I'm not spiraling on drugs. I am drinking a lot. Probably more than I should. I smoke more than I should. I smoke weed more than I should. Yeah, I got things I could work on in life, sure. But, no, I'm not on drugs, Aaron. I know this is another thing you're just trying to gaslight your little increasingly shrinking audience into believing, but no, I'm not on drugs. Trust me, I would be much more erratic if I was doing drugs.